If you've never been in an abusive relationship, it can be really hard to understand why people stay. And you might say something like, you should just leave. But oftentimes, leaving doesn't solve the problem. Leaving is incredibly difficult. Do you know what happens when we try to leave?
I was being harassed through different email accounts, private numbers, different numbers, social media accounts, even showed up at my place a few times.
He future faked when he repeat the same pattern of paranoid narcissistic behavior, that I'm the one that's the problem.
She threatened to unalive herself, which basically made me feel guilty and bad, so I ended up putting myself back into that cycle of abuse.
They were waiting outside to come in as soon as I opened the door.
He would use a lot of guilt trips and obligation, making it seem that I was breaking up our family and ruining his life.
Anytime I tried to leave the narcissist, he would distract me with concert tickets, beach vacations, all sorts of gifts.
Screaming and yelling that you're crazy while also simultaneously saying you're the best thing that ever happened to them and please don't leave them.
He told me the only way out was in a body bag.
He promised me the world. He promised me he would change. He gave me everything that I wanted to hear, and it was called future faking.
I tried to leave, and she would say things like, nothing worth having ever comes easy. She would hold me so I couldn't move. She would use sex as a way to manipulate me and to control me to stay.
He promised me he would change, stop drinking and partying.
He resorted to lashing out. And the last thing he said to me when he left was, good luck paying all the effing bills without me, bitch.
And throwing anything and everything at you, locking your exits from doors, chasing you around the neighborhood, standing behind your vehicle so that you can't leave, kicking the window in.
He told me he was depressed, begged me for help, told me he was going to go to therapy, begged me not to leave.
As soon as they were in the house, they beelined it to my 3-year-old son and asked him if he wanted to go with them to get a donut, because they knew that if they had access to my son, they had access to me.
He would stay sober for a short period of time to prove to me that his sobriety was part of his healing.
He cried like a baby.
He threatened to unalive me. He threatened to unalive my family. He threatened litigation against me. He threatened my job.
First thing he tried to do was guilt trip me, saying, do you really think I'm going to be okay if you leave me? Do you really think I'm going to take care of myself if you leave me?
He came into the house in the middle of the night, dragged me out of bed by my feet, and threatened to kill me.
I am still being harassed till this day.